Also, hit me up with your OPGG, by the way. I'm not sure if I got that. Just so we can take a quick look.
The op.gg. You mean my summoner name?
Yeah.
Oh, it's called Invisible Pancake.
Let me see.
All in one.
Invisible pancakes. Oh
Oh
shit.
no, it's all in one word.
Oh. Well, it shouldn't matter on OPGG. Not like this.
Okay, you know what? Let me take a look at it. op.gg. Oh, I and P are capitalized.
Oh, that shouldn't matter either. Yo, hit me up with the link, cause I'm just apparently I can't spell invisible or something.
Okay, all right. I'll hit you up with the link.
Oh, invisible pancake. Wait, I'm actually retarded.
Pancake.
Wait, I'm actually so stupid. All right, let's see. So these are the games you played today, I guess.
Yeah. These two games I played yesterday. I played like one game today. On the support, I think it hasn't shown up yet.
Okay. So I guess let's take a look at game one. Do you want to tell me anything about your playstyle or you know what?
Okay, so far, I've been criticized a lot for playing too conservative as an ADC, and a lot of times I'll just focus on farming and actually doesn't focus on harassing and engaging that often. And when it comes to late games, or when it comes to mid game and late games, I'll often do a pretty poor job at rotating. I always get caught solo farming at one spot and doesn't really contribute to the team fight. That's one of the critique I got a lot. So I kind of want to improve on that, because every time it's kind of frustrating, because I always have a pretty low damage score, even though I'm an ADC.
Interesting. Okay. Let's we can talk about this. Okay, so first question. Is this your first season playing?
Pretty much.
Dude, that's pretty cool.
I played for 3 months, so I got in at the end of the season 7.
Wow. Okay. Welcome to League of Legends, my friend.
Thank you. I know a little bit about Dota 1, because back when it was still popular, because a lot of my high school friends would be playing it. But I never really got into it, and I got into this game end of 2017. I
see. Okay, so we're gonna go through a couple basics here real quick. So first is I need you to tell me, when you see this matchup, what do you think, right? So start with Janna and Caitlyn. Matchup? Yeah. Start with your side.
I mean, my side, Caitlyn has a pretty long range. I think has the longest range, so it's pretty good with poking and lane dominance. And Janna is a healing champion, so it will help me with trading, I suppose. And also, since it's a range support, I was always told that when you're playing with a range support, you should always have some sort of lane dominance if the other side is having a melee support.
Okay, so why do you think they say that?
Just because I mean, the range support the melee support can't really attack the range support.
Right, the range support is gonna whoop him, and then he has no response, right? Hopefully, right? That's the hope. So, what you said is very correct, right? You're a very long range. You're a poke champion, and Janna's also a poke trade, right? So you can classify your lane as, we want to poke at the end of the day, right? So any kind of all-in you take is not good unless they have no HP or you have more people or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now what does Twitch and Poppy do, or what do they want to do?
Poppy wants to knock me to a wall and kind of all in on me, all my support. Right,
the keywords all in. That's literally the only thing they can do, right? So if you watch from here, from level 1, do you want to push this? Do you want to push this lane or not?
I think I do. Yeah.
And why? Why is that?
Because when you have a lane dominance, you should always try to push the first wave, right? So you kind of have a level advantage.
This is true. So you can get level 2 first, right? But what about after level 2? Do you want to push after level 2?
Um, after level 2, I I don't really know. My plan at that time is to like fast push the first wave and maybe slow push the second wave.
Yeah, but like why? We always have to go through why. Otherwise, it would be like, oh, it
Because
doesn't.
if you push the first wave, then you kind of have like a level advantage, and then you can kind of zone them off the second wave if you do a
Right.
good job.
You're right. So what are we seeing in this? What are we doing? What are we seeing in this section that we should have been doing?
Um, we I actually have no idea. Is this the first wave? I think it's the second wave. We should have like zoned.
Yeah. You're level 2, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you said? Right? You get level 2. You're like, oh, we can beat them up because they can't really do anything about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how you.
I originally thought that like we'll be able to like push them all the way to the tower till so it resets, and then we slow push. Was it not the way it's supposed to be done? Or just
In
slow
this
push
lane,
waves?
you just want to push 24/7. There's no need to slow push, right? Slow push
really?
kind of
Okay.
when you want to slow push, you're kind of inferring one of two things, right? You're so weak that you need all these minions to help you, so you're just gonna slow push. Otherwise, they can all in you, right? Or the second is you're on the strong side and you're gonna dive them, right? You're building up a massive minion wave. You're gonna push them in, or you're planning to not dive them but instead rotate into the river, right? So you kind of doing something. You're planning something if you slow push, right? Or maybe you're trying to zone them. But in this case, if you can push, you push them in, right? And the reason being is that if you push them in, you have options available to you. So after you push them in, what do? You can hit the tower, you can poke them on the tower, you can go into the river and ward for your team, etc., etc. Right? So that's how you know you want to always push this in. And then the second part of, oh, how come you don't want to fight these guys right now? How come you're not hitting them, for example?
Right now, because partially I feel like the support is in the bush, and I mean Twitch is level 2 as well.
Right, but like remember what you said, right? The range support, is gonna beat the melee support if you take trades with the enemy AD carry. As long as the melee support cannot, retaliate, there's nothing they can do. So that's kind of your cue that so in this lane,
I should have gone for the trade in this case.
Yeah, it's if you can trade, that's already good because you have Janna shield.
Yeah, one of the concern is that like just if you go back a little bit, yeah, I feel like when I'm like next to the wall and Poppy is at the bush, I'm really concerned about being ambushed and getting knocked to the wall because they're positioned perpendicular to me.
You're right. But in this case, if you basically make it so that you're never in between Poppy and the wall, she'll never be able to all in you, right?
Alright.
So as long as you can do that, you basically can do whatever you want in this lane, right?
So first thing, just poke a lot more.
Well, know your matchup, right? So the first part is, do you want to push or not, right? And the second part is, do you want to trade? We'll go with this first. We'll swap that. The first is, do you want to trade? And the second is, do you want to push, right? So trade depends on your support and your champion, right? So Caitlyn wants to poke and trade because she has the shield, and Twitch does not want to trade, right? Because his Poppy cannot help. And then you want to push because they can't really stop you, right? Their all-in is not great. Their jungler is not strong. So even if they gank you, you're going to get away, right? So you want to push them in so you can gain a CS lead, for example. So you don't have to be so scared here, right? That's kind of the... If I told you in this game,
would you consider pushed in? I mean, pushed all the way to the tower, or like? Okay,
let's see if we can open up my replay. But pushing it, like literally just shoving as hard as you can, right? You Q the wave, you auto attack on cooldown. That's kind of the idea that helped me the most is auto attack on cooldown, right? So that's what you need to be doing.
Okay.
Exactly.
And use abilities and auto attack on cooldown.
You don't necessarily have to use abilities, but using abilities on Caitlyn specifically can be a good idea, right? So if we this is probably not a good replay. Let's check out this one. I'm trying to find one that's similar to yours, right?
All right.
So it's like you got a range support. Let's check this out. This is kind of similar. What do you mean push? This is push, right? Can you see my screen?
Oh, I see.
Right, we're pushing 24/7, right?
Right. So
So
when you can see
like this.
the location of the junglers, is it like recommended to push this deep?
So okay, we're getting into a different kind. I hope you can
Uh-huh.
like write this down, or you're gonna rewatch this because
Yeah.
we're gonna throw a lot of
Yeah.
info you. Okay,
Right, right,
so
right. I
um,
have my notebook.
the idea is that when you push, you're gaining an advantage, and this advantage is you can do something with this. Pushing
Mhm.
itself is an advantage, right? So when you
Right.
push, you can do any of the things I said earlier, right? You can hit the tower, so that's tower damage. You can hit
Mhm.
them, HP advantage. You can
Mhm.
go ward, and you can go sit in a bush, right? Which is
Right.
pressure, right? Invisible pressure.
Mhm.
One thing that happens is that the jungle is gonna gank you, right? So
Right.
when is it worth it for the jungler to gank your lane?
When
What's
is
your
it
best
worth it?
guess? Yeah, what's your best
Um,
guess? What has to happen for it to be worth it? Like if their
I
jungler
mean,
comes out,
they need to get a kill.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. They need to get a kill. I'm impressed. This is your first season. You already know. They need to get a kill, right?
Yeah.
So if they come out and don't get a kill, is that worth for them?
That's not really worth for them.
So this is what happens. You're pushing, you're winning your lane. The jungler comes out, ganks you, he doesn't get a kill. The enemy
Uh-huh.
jungler lost, the enemy bot lane lost, your jungler ganks
Right.
the lane, that lane wins. So you win four lanes by
Mhm.
yourself. Three
That's-
lanes by yourself, right?
Mhm.
So that's really good. Um
Mhm.
you've given 3 lanes an advantage just by your own play. So that's the goal here, is that you're gonna push him in, make him lose CS, make him lose HP, whatever. The gank comes out, you get away from the gank. Everyone, that's like really good. That's the outcome. That's why we push. One of the reasons why we push is to absorb jungle pressure, right? So say
Okay.
a
So
lot of
sometimes, yeah,
Hmm?
I'm sorry. You go ahead.
no, you first, you first.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so are you saying that sometimes you're almost expecting the jungler to come?
Oh, you always expect the jungler to come,
Okay.
100% of the time.
Are you almost kind of like waiting for them to come so you can kind of get away and waste their resources?
Yeah. So this is like the Schrodinger's game, right? You
Uh-huh.
don't know where they are on the map until they show up, right?
Right.
So you have to assume they're always coming for you. You always have
Mhm.
to assume, right? Until you can
Right.
see otherwise, they're coming for you, right? So
Mhm.
then you always have a plan in place. So say
Right.
in this case, if Poppy, Twitch, and Tryndamere gank you,
Mhm.
how do you die? How are you guaranteed to die? Like
Oh,
what
if I
ability
get,
has to hit you?
I mean, Poppy's knock has to hit me. Or
That
maybe the slow.
that's all right.
Huh.
That's it. That's it. So if you never get hit by Poppy stun against the wall and you have full HP and you have flash, you'll never die. So that's how you know you push 24/7.
Okay.
Right? So it's kind of making
Mhm.
these mental shortcuts to help you decide what to do in this
Mhm.
lane. Right? So based on the matchup, you're like, oh, we want to trade, we want to poke. Based on the enemy jungler in the matchup, you say, oh, we push in 24/7. If we have flash, you can never die. Right?
Right.
And then you're good to go. Right? So we already know this doesn't work.
Mhm.
Even if Poppy flashes for us, it's impossible for her to hit you into the wall in this position, right? So that's
Right.
how you would know something like that doesn't work. Oh, look at that!
Mhm.
You already wasted his time, which is really good. But I think you could have pushed harder, and I think you
Uh-huh.
also could have also not used flash, right? But
Oh yeah,
honestly,
yeah. I kind of,
using
it's kind of like I kind of panicked a little bit.
yeah, it's okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
You'll get better at that, but
Yeah.
just knowing the basic idea is
Uh-huh.
already really good, right?
Okay, I
So
didn't know that. I thought like you just trying as a bot lane, just trying to avoid the gank.
right.
Um,
It's a lot of people don't know that, right? It's because
Yeah.
they're always like, oh, jungler always ganks my other lanes and they die, right? So how do you influence the outcome? You make the jungler come to your lane, right? And then
Oh,
you
okay.
still win, and then you waste his time,
Uh-huh.
right? So it's
Mhm.
kind of like that.
Wow, that's okay. That's very good information. That's pretty new. I never actually know that before.
Yeah. It's about drawing pressure to your lane, right? So
Okay.
Tryndamere is messing around mid. I don't know what's going on, but every time Tryndamere ganks, he's wasting his time. And Udyr is getting stronger, right? Udyr is about to be level
Right.
5, and Tryndamere is like level 3 or some shit. I don't know. But this is also probably not a good use of Udyr's time. But
Mhm.
yeah, that's kind of the idea. So that's how you know you
Yeah.
want to push, right?
Okay.
So you shouldn't
I
be
wanna-
afraid. You
Mhm.
shouldn't be afraid to
So with this
hit
lane, I
them.
never really had to freeze, right?
Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
The only time, okay, can you give me a reason why you would freeze in this lane?
Of so far, well, I mean, if I'm losing, I would want to freeze.
Okay,
And
if you're losing super hard, sure.
yeah, Otherwise, I mean, commonly what I know about freezing is that you want to starve the opponent of experiences by
Right, right,
zoning
right.
them off, and
Exactly.
that's usually how you freeze.
If you're super strong, if you're super ahead, you can
Mhm.
consider freezing. But most of the time, you just want to push, right? The
Okay.
default winning strategy is push.
Uh-huh. All right.
Um,
All right. After you push it all the way to the tower, and do you just kind of wait there?
so remember the options I told you when you push into the tower, right?
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
in this case, this is similar to what you
Mhm.
had, except that their all in is better, right? So their Rakan is considered
Yeah.
all in.
Mhm.
He can do a lot more than Poppy, but in
Mhm.
this case, what I'm looking for is HP advantage, right? So you see
Mhm.
that? That's 80 points of
Yeah.
damage
Yeah.
just by pushing in, and she's missing CS, right? And not only that, but we're drawing jungle pressure here. The jungler's here, so this is doing like two birds, one stone, if that makes sense. Let's
All
see if
right.
there's another
Mhm.
example.
Mhm.
Um, this doesn't count. Let's see, skip, skip, skip. So notice that when you push them in, they have to last hit these minions on the tower, right? So when they
Right.
do, that's your cue to hit them. You see that? So every time
Oh.
they're trying to last hit, you hit them or you hit the tower,
Uh-huh.
right? And all at the same time. You're making sure you
Uh-huh.
don't die to a gank, right? So this is all really good damage. Oh, what
Uh-huh.
happens if I push in 5 times in a row? They lose all their HP, right?
Uh-huh.
So you're kind of that's how you know you're winning, right? Is that you're
Oh,
gaining
I see.
disadvantages and
Uh-huh.
there's nothing they can do,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So auto attack on cooldown if you can, and
Uh-huh.
if on Caitlyn you can use your
And
Q to push.
what about this lane? Specifically this lane, because I feel like with Tarek and Tristana, they all in should be pretty good.
Right. Their all in is really good, right? So
Uh-huh.
what's the plan? If Tristana jumps in and stuns me,
Yeah.
Tara Braum is gonna block after, so we're good to go.
Okay.
And I press E
Uh-huh.
and we get away. Jungler comes out, we press heal, can't die,
Uh-huh.
right? So I
Alright.
think a jungler actually comes out in this game. Let's
Mhm.
see.
Mhm.
We can fast forward. Here we go. Jungler comes out. All right, let's
Okay.
watch what happens. Right. So this is very standard. Right. You're pushing in. The enemy is gonna try and engage on you. And the reason why we know we live is because we have full HP and full sums. Right. We actually die here.
Alright.
Spoiler. Because he has no mana. Right. So if you don't have enough mana, that's also an indicator of dying to a gank. Right.
Okay.
So that was really awkward. But he should not have died. Right. So imagine if he hadn't died. This would have been really good. Right.
Oh yeah.
Let's see if we can find
Uh-huh.
another example
Uh-huh.
where. See if the jungler comes another time.
Mhm.
I think maybe. I don't know. But yeah, it's all about creating pressure, right? So
Okay.
once you've created enough pressure, it'll,
Mhm.
the enemy will do something stupid like this,
Mhm.
right? And you know you win
Then
because
they'll
you have
do that.
minions, right?
Uh-huh.
And he's just gonna he's just gonna die, right?
Yeah.
You can make them feel so pressured they have to do something or they're just gonna lose the game, right? So
Uh-huh.
this is kind of what's going on.
Oh,
It's
so
also
kind of
another
made
benefit.
like a desperate situation for them.
Exactly, they're desperate.
Uh-huh.
They feel like they need to do something or they're gonna lose because they are losing, So
Okay. Uh-huh.
that's also another benefit to shoving in 24/7, right? If they're like, oh,
Yeah.
we lose 3 CS every wave. After 10
Mhm.
minutes, they're down 50 CS, right? So that's the idea is that you want to push 24/7, and if Twitch tries to hit you, you hit him back, and we know this because of
Okay.
the lane matchup. That's what I kind of want you to
Yeah.
figure out is
'Cause
the
that-
first step.
Yeah, I actually I don't know much about Twitch. I didn't know I know all his kids, but I don't know if he's considered like a hyper carry or not.
He's
So
a
if he hits me, I don't know how much it hurts actually.
So the way you kind of figured out is what abilities can they use to hurt you? So what abilities can he use to hurt you?
I mean, Twitch can throw a bomb at me.
That only slows. That's not damage, right? We don't
Um,
consider that to be damage.
Okay, and then I mean, I feel like after you throw it at me, and then I think the poison empowers his auto attack.
Well, he can kind of use the poison stacks to do damage, right?
Right.
With his
right.
contaminate, his E.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't get more than X amount of stacks, you're gonna win. But you win trades because you have Janna's shield, right? So you can hit him 1v1 and you're gonna win. Right? It doesn't matter if he gets to expunge you or not. All you do is just hit him. But yeah, if we go to any kind of champion, give me a champion that you've seen.
I've seen Vayne.
Okay, how does Vayne do damage?
Vayne, I think he he Qs and the auto attack and follows Q is like more powerful.
Right,
And
right,
if he
exactly.
mounts you to a wall, then he can get free damage on you.
Right. So usually speaking, you're not going to be able to condemn someone into the wall, right? So all he really has is the tumble, right?
Right,
So
right, mostly.
it's not very strong, right? That's how you know Vayne loses most trades, right? So you
Mhm.
can kind of classify it like that. Vayne can only all in a sense,
Uh,
right? So oh, this is really good, right? So when you hit him here, this is what you need to do, because
okay.
what can he do? Like it doesn't matter how good he hits. It doesn't matter what rank he is. He can't do anything if you do that. Theoretically speaking, right? He hits back, Janus shields, he loses. He runs away, he got hit for free, right? There's nothing they can do. That's kind of what you want to go for in this lane. Is that
Okay.
your first priority is figure out the matchup. Ask yourself, do I want to trade? If you want to trade, you try and
Right.
trade as much as possible. The second step is ask yourself if you want to push, right? And most of the time, you will be able to push. What's an example of when you wouldn't be able to push? Can you come up with a lane matchup?
A lane matchup I wouldn't be able to push.
Yes.
If they have like very if they all have like if I feel like if I have like if they have like a thresh support and I wouldn't want to push too hard.
Right.
Just feel like I would be like, well, if they engages on me, it's like it feels like an automatic kill.
Exactly, right? Because if you're playing, say, Caitlyn and Soraka, right? Have you played with Soraka
Right.
before?
Oh yes.
If he goes on you guys, there's nothing you can do, right? Because you guys lose the all-in.
Maybe Soraka can silence them, but I don't think it would do much.
Yeah, it's not exactly. So if they have like Thresh Callista, you know that unless they're low HP because you poked them earlier, you cannot push, right? Otherwise, you're just gonna die to 2v2. They're gonna all in you, right?
So whether you can engage us or not depends a lot on their support.
Exactly, right? The AD carry is follow up. Most of the time, the AD carry will be follow up. It's gonna be mostly dependent on the support, right? Oh, what is going on here, right? So how do we know this doesn't work? How do we know this Azir gank doesn't work?
I mean, I'm not in a position to follow up. I don't think he has any.
It shouldn't work, but it looks like it's working, right?
Yeah.
The reason why we know is because they have flash, right? So remember how we talked about they gank your lane. If you can flash away, that's good. It's the same thing, right? They're wasting your mid laner's time. You guys actually almost killed this guy, which is really close, but nice try, I guess. Interesting, but
I usually don't keep counts of stuff like flash because I don't know how to keep counts of that. Maybe I just make a habit.
Right, you always do. Flash is 5 minutes plus the timer. Right, just think about it that way. Is you ping flash and you say you add 5 minutes. Oh, you should put timers on your thing, right? So you don't have to worry about this yet. But when you do have stuff to worry about, once you get like the basic stuff down, you can start adding it. So where do I put flash timers in here? I guess they just never use flash. What the hell? Yeah, I type it in chat every time I see their flash. Okay. I just keep track of bot lane. I say AD flash.
Tell them flash down.
Yeah, I do something like AD flashes at 10 minutes, right? So I'll put that in chat, and that'll be my note for chat.
All right. Oh, okay. That's helpful.
But don't worry about that yet. I mean, if you can just pick that up immediately, go for it. But I think you have bigger stuff to worry about right now.
I was queuing with that mid lane, the Azir. He was just trying to like make a habit of roaming.
Interesting.
Yeah, and since I play bot lane, he usually roam bot lane.
Right. So yeah, so for matchups, when you're thinking about matchups, right? The next step is after you can think about these matchups and answer these questions. Do you want to trade? Do you want to push? The second step is, does anything change at level 6? Right, because that's when everyone gets ultimates.
Usually it does. Because I feel like Twitch's level 6 is stronger than my level 6.
I would say in a way this is true, right? But it doesn't change the way you play, right?
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't change the way you play. Sometimes a level 6 in all-in lane will get beaten, for example, by a different all-in lane because of level 6. In this case, you guys still want to do the same thing. You want to poke, you want to trade. They still want to do the same thing. They want to all-in, right? It's still the same thing, right? In fact, it's even better for you guys because Janna's ulti can stop their all-in, right? So you guys are even a better position to poke and trade.
Okay. So
but
I should apply a lot more pressure.
Right. And this is just like, you only know if you can based on the matchup, right? That's how you know. Is you just hit these guys, right? You need to just hit these guys, because you should know that you can't lose, right? Look at this. This is 1v2. If you just hit him once or twice, you can't do anything, right? That's the kind of the first step is knowing. We want to hit them.
Okay.
If you're playing the Twitch Poppy, you never want to walk up to Caitlyn, right? So here's kind of an advanced idea. How do you guarantee auto attacks on him?
How do I guarantee auto attack? You do auto attack lock.
No. How do you guarantee it's gonna hit him?
Oh,
right? How do you? When's the perfect time to go for him?
When he's CSing.
Perfect, right? When you want something. When he's CSing, that's your time. So for example, every time he's going for these minions, you can Q him, you can auto attack him. So here, this could be a Q, for example. That's just one thing to note about. But the first, just worry about that later. But the first step is knowing that you want to do that, right? Oh, that was really good right there.
I do know. I do that sometimes, but when things get hectic, I forget about it.
Yeah. That's true.
I do know you need to stand next to a dying minion, so when they auto attack them, you can kind of.
That's the basic idea. Right. So how do we know we die here? We didn't see Fizz coming.
Yeah, I didn't see Fizz coming.
So this is kind of awkward. This is just a map awareness thing.
Yeah.
Right. It's just check your map. I would say
how often
if
do you check the map?
Between CS, as often as possible.
Okay.
Right. You need to know where everyone is. Like, how can you, for example, push if you don't know where the enemy mid laner is? Right. So you know that you can survive the jungle gank, but what if the enemy mid and jungle come? You can't, right? Most of the time.
Right.
So then you always have to check your map. Or say they have a Twisted Fate or Neuralian Soul, someone who roams a lot. You still have to check your map. Or how do you know if you can push into the tower? You have to check the map to see if you see the jungler, right?
Right.
So I would say that's just a map awareness thing. Of course, you could have. Is there any way you could have beaten that Fizz gank? Do you think?
I could have walked towards a bush.
No, that won't work, right? Because then they just follow you and then you die, right?
Right. Yeah, I don't think there's a way.
Don't you have a specific item to counter an ability?
Unless I stopwatch the middle of the way.
Right. What would you stopwatch?
Where would I stopwatch?
No, what would you stopwatch? You usually use stopwatch to target a specific ability, right? So say the enemy Caitlyn is trying to Q you, you can stopwatch that, right? Or she's trying to ult you can stopwatch that. So Fizz, you can stopwatch. What's the big one you can stopwatch?
When they ult me?
Exactly. So you could have stopwatch his ulti and you can win this, but don't worry about that yet either. That's just if you go back and rewatch this, that is definitely something you should know, right? That's why people take this is so that they can win. They can win the gank. Fast forward. Yeah. Now that you have no flash, you can die to Twitch Poppy now, right? So that's how kind of we know that pushing up can be dangerous.
At this stage of the game, I don't really know what I'm doing.
Right. So the idea is still the same, right? Just that now everyone has level 6, and you have to watch out for rums and stuff, right? But the idea is still the same. If you can push, right? If you're in the winning position, you push and go do something, right? So and if something happens like this, you go help if it's possible, right? This is not possible because you just die super fast, but right. A lot of it will depend on how many people your team has and how many people their team has, right? So they have more people, you want to run, right? I don't know what Chino is doing, but he just dies. I think you can like trap yourself and stay under tower. That's kind of awkward.
I should have stopwatched there.
Yeah. You can like trap and then like stopwatch or something. That's just kind of awkward.
Yeah, I think I trapped to get away, so my trap was still on cooldown when that happened.
I would say Caitlyn is a hard champion to play, right?
Yeah.
So how do you think your mechanics are?
My mechanics are definitely not good.
Oh no. Well, I mean, you can stopwatch this, so that's definitely something at least.
Yeah,
right?
I was like, it took me. It's not like instinct. Sometimes I have to think. Oh, I need to stopwatch, and then I go click. Sometimes I'll be like half a second late.
Well, that's just a play more kind of thing, right?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, in this case, where do you want to go here?
Oh, here. I guess go mid.
Why is that?
Because I feel like I'm least with my team.
And why do you need to be with your team?
Because here's one aspect of my game. When it comes to mid game, I don't really know what to do.
Right. That's common. Don't worry about it. it. So, the idea is, if you group up with your team, you go mid. Okay, what happens if they push bot? What if Twitch is bot? Right.
They get a tower.
Right, or he's getting money, right? So then, if you guys just sit mid at your tower, you lose, right? You're losing in that case. That's a losing situation. So say, you say Twitch is bot, let's push up to the tower, right? Okay, so what do you do if they just hide under the tower? You're still losing, right? Because you can't dive them and you can't siege, right? So then all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's how you know that going mid is a trap, right? There's no reason to go mid.
Yeah.
Because
I was afraid that a lot of time I would go bot, and then a fight will happen in mid, and I wouldn't be able to follow up with my team.
So this is the idea: is that if you're within one lane's distance, you can help. So do you know what I mean by one lane's distance?
Okay, so if fight happens in the top and on bottom, I can't really do anything.
Exactly. Okay, so let's is this a drawing tool? So say this is you, right? This is you. Yeah. And the fight happens here. You can help in time. That's one lane's distance, right? If the fight happens here, you cannot help, right? I don't know how you get through here, but you keep pushing. You do something else, right? So if the fight happens anywhere in this area, you can kind of help, if that makes any sense. So we'll cut this off.
Okay.
I don't know how to erase any of this, but one lane's distance, right? So you go bot, you can push bot, and you're happy. And if you look at the fight and you say, I cannot get there and help, what do you do?
I try to push my lane.
And why is that?
And at least I am getting an objective, which will be good for my team.
Perfect. And you're getting money, which will be good for your team, right? Your job is to find as much money as possible, right? And be useful at the same time. So you're looking for places to get money without dying.
Yeah.
Is basically what you're trying to do. So you need to go bot because you're losing all the money bot, basically. If you share a lane with your mid laner, you're not getting money, right? You're getting half the money you should be getting. So fight happens over here. You guys try and help. I don't think this is help. I don't know if you can help this, but maybe you can ulti something.
I feel I'm too late. They already cleaned it up.
That's fine. You push mid, sure. But it was really scary to try and do something like this when they're pushing in, right? What if they just take your tower, right? So I think you should have just stayed by here. But good thing they didn't push. Okay, sure. So after this happens, what's next? Where are we going?
Right now, I guess. What time? 21 minutes. I don't really know. Maybe
so this is the idea: is that you think about it this way. You need to generate as much money as possible.
Right.
So what gives you the most money?
Usually minion waves.
Yes, minion waves, right? So if there is an available minion wave on your side of the map, go get it. Right. That's the kind of premise. You push it out first, and then after that you can do something like this, right? So this is actually kind of what you do: is that you push it in and then you go do something, right? The only problem with getting Gromp is what?
I'm not taking the minion waves.
No. You took your minion wave mid. You pushed it in. Okay. That's correct, right?
Yeah.
The problem is that it's really far away. So This is gonna take. This is really sneaky. So I think
it's kind of funny because I missed it.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's really awkward, right? Oh no. Okay, yeah. So this would be this is actually really good rotation right here, right? So a fight has happened. What do you do when everyone's dead? You get as much money as possible without dying. You push in mid. You steal their Gromp. You take top. That's really good. I would say that's really good because that's the most money you can ever get, right? And then it's like, oh, it's awkward because you missed the Gromp, and then sure we pushed in top. But the problem with right, the problem with this is what you should know you want to get out immediately, right?
Right.
Once you push this, you need to leave, right?
Yeah.
So rotating through here, there's nothing to get here, right? What are you trying to get? You just need to run because the enemy team's coming for you, right? So that's why you end up dying. Is that this is correct? You push in the wave. Now you gotta run, right? You pushed it in fast enough before they can get to you, but you like stayed way too long, or you tried to cut through the river where they're just walking to.
I was thinking about like returning back to mid.
Right. So then, if you want to do that, you base. Right. So if we go back to this example, where after we push this in, how do we get to mid without dying?
Base and go straight to mid.
Right. It's impossible. You can't walk there. So that's kind of you. That's kind of how you should. Once you push, you do something.
Bad habit to have.
Yeah. But you have the kind of basic idea down from what I see is that you push this wave out first and then you want to do something after, right? Okay, so it's kind of awkward. Everything is just dunzo. But let's see what's going on here. We're just fighting over here. Sure. That's fine. What's going on here? Twitch comes out. Hit this guy. You can just net him. Okay, this is awkward. Okay. So we can talk about this. So when you don't see an enemy champion, right? You have to assume that they're going after you, right?
Oh, okay.
That's like a basic premise, right? Think about it like the jungler, right? You always assume the jungler is ganking your lane. You always assume the enemy champions are coming for you, right? So if you go on that assumption, you have to have a plan for when they come out.
Yeah.
Right. So what is the plan when Twitch comes out? Like formulate it right now. Pretend this is like we paused in game. What's the plan if he comes out?
I'll probably trap him and then get a couple auto attacks.
I would say he kills you by the time you're just like doing auto attacks, right?
Oh yeah.
So then, is there any other plan you can come up with?
Oh, maybe just not engage.
Well, that's not possible because he comes out of stealth on top of you, right?
Yeah.
So you can. This could be Fizz. This could be Talon. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But this is kind of how you figure out what you do. Is that you know what's gonna happen, so you prepare yourself for it, right? So some responses could be you net EQ flat. You do the EQ combo, right? Do you know the EQ combo?
Yeah.
Right. So that's really clean, right? You auto attack, you EQ, boom. That's not bad, right? If he can't one shot you, that's a good result. That's a good response, right? Another response is you EW him. Do you know that one?
I don't know that one.
That's kind of hard. Okay, don't worry about that. But Caitlyn, that's why I always say Caitlyn's like hard to play because she can do all these different things. She has all these different responses. But EQ, that would be your response, right? And then trap if he chases you, right? That would be your mindset. So it would help you. You have no idea what to do, right? So you kind of like run away and whatever. That would help you like figure that out, right? I also think it's kind of funny how you like move the screen so you can't see him. It's like, oh, if he can't, if I can't see him, he can't see me. That's you want to have kind of a plan for when they come out, right? When they come and try and hit you, right? So that would be your plan. EQ, at the very least, you want to know that you can EQ them, right? So you guys take this tower, sure. And then what do you guys do? You probably want to base, in my opinion. Right? What do I know you guys want to base? Oh, someone's fighting. Oh, that's really awkward. Oh, that's awkward. What happened there?
Yeah, I was about to base. I was about to walk into that bush and base, and then the fight happened.
That's not your fault, right? So it's like, oh, you don't worry about that. And then sure, you want to defend. Okay, this game's kind of rip already, but okay, we're gonna talk about this. How come we run back this way? How come we're like running back into mid?
Oh. I don't know. I'm probably just misclicked. Oh, it's a lot of time. A lot of times, I'll click. I was about to go right, and I misclick on the minimap, so that I end up going all the way back. That happens a lot.
Wait, but you're like clicking left here though. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Like here, you're like going up, and then you're going down, and then around or something. You're just like not know. Did you not know like what was going on?
Yeah, I'm not really sure actually.
I think that's like whatever, but you should know that
mechanical error.
Yeah, you should know that the idea is that the idea is what you don't actually want to fight this guy, right? Why is that?
Because there are a lot of them. There are like 2 of them, and they have pretty quick gap closes.
Right, there are more people. Right.
Right.
So they're probably just gonna do. They should have done Baron, right? But if they have more people, you don't want to fight. That's the kind of mindset you want to have. Yeah. If you have more people,
like, I didn't have vision of them.
Yeah, you didn't know they were there or something.
Yeah, kind of took the idea. I was like, oh, maybe there was only like 1 guy.
But
I kind of took my chances there, and I got punished.
Oh, this is awkward. Interesting here. So you thought you could just hit him? So how come he won this fight? You guys have the same amount of HP. How come he won?
I guess I didn't do the EQ thing.
You have no, yeah, exactly. You didn't have any damage because you didn't, and he used his E, right? So you can also say he's 2 levels up, but the big thing is that he used his abilities and you didn't, right?
Yeah.
So
a lot of times I was told that like with ADC, when it comes to like mid and late games, you just want to auto attack. You don't actually want to use abilities.
We're not at that stage yet, though, right? Okay. It depends on your it basically depends on your what's it called? Like attack speed, I guess. The value of your auto attacks, right? The value of your auto you only have 2 items, right? So that only really applies when you have 6 or 5 or something like that. And also not always. So don't take that as like an iron rule of don't use your abilities. The idea is kind of okay, we're gonna teach you like a mechanic today.
Right.
That'll be sure to help. So can you open up your league at the same time I do? Oh, this is not the right thing.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, you're gonna go into the practice tool. And you're gonna do this like at least 5 times. And then make sure that you kind of practice this. This is how you hit someone. It doesn't matter if it's in lane, doesn't matter if it's in a team fight. I'm going to teach you how to hit someone in a safe way, right? So we're going to pick Caitlyn, right?
Right.
Load up. So the idea is that when you hit someone and you are not sure you're not sure you're committed to this, right? You're not sure you're going to all in, or you're not sure this is an automatic win, right? An automatic win would be like having more people or they have no HP or something like that, right? You're not sure. Right. So you back off is the idea. Right. I'm gonna show that. You can still see my screen, right?
I can still see your screen.
Okay, good.
I fought this fight already. We win.
So we're gonna spawn a dummy. Spawn an enemy dummy. Turn this stuff off. Toggle minion fire. Alright, where is this? Okay, so we're hitting this person, right?
Right.
So this is how you figure out, how do you hit someone? Like you were hitting that Twitch, right? This is how you were hitting that Twitch, right? So if you don't know if you win or not, you auto attack and you run back a little, right? So you go like this. So right before this auto attack goes off, you want to back off and then come back, right? That's the idea. Is that if you don't know if you win, this is what you do. Right, just like do this as many times as it takes for this to become a habit. Because this is what you do in lane. If they go for a CS, you hit them and immediately run away. Right, unless you're going forward. Right. this is the EQ combo I was talking about. So let's give me some levels. So you already know EQ, right?
Right.
That would be a good response,
Uh-huh.
or a possible response you can have. And then this is the EW combo I was talking about, right? You can put the E down and then put the trap on top of them. So the way you do that is press E and W at the same spot, right?
Oh.
Well, actually,
at the
didn't
same
work there.
time?
Well, once you cast your net, you can
Uh-huh.
cast your E, right?
Okay.
It works like that, right? So you can put it down
Oh,
wherever.
alright.
You can even do it after you Q, right?
Uh-huh.
So it kind of works that way.
Oh, okay.
So that's just one response you can do. So you either do EQ or EW. I want you to kind of practice that. Is that if they go for you, you want to do this, right? Auto attack EW, right? Or you want to auto attack EQ, right? Doesn't matter, but you need to practice those responses. That's like the basic mechanic, right? That and the go back after you auto attack, right? The go back after your auto attack is really important, right? You don't know if you're gonna win, you back off, so you have an option.
Alright.
Let's see. Let's keep watching your replay though, and we'll come back to this if we need to.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
that's
sure.
awkward. What is this? And then let's see. So what's going on here? I think this game is pretty much like what face, so we should probably move on to the next. But that's kind of the general idea.
Yeah, we're losing pretty hard this game.
Yeah, it's like at this point, if Twitch comes out, you don't really have too many responses, right? So, yeah, interesting. What's going on here? Okay, fast forward. Oh, and then it's like, oh, he's running after us. Kind of awkward. You need to It's so awkward how you like can't see anything.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, and also my camera angle is not good.
So do you know how to relocate your champion? Like center.
You press space?
Yeah. That's what I do, right? So say if you're using net, let's go back to this thing real quick, right? If you're like, oh wow, okay, plays TV, please. Not like this. Not like this.
Wow.
Hold up, I think my league is messed up.
Oh, okay.
Okay, hold up. Okay, where are we? Here we are. So if we are, running away from someone, you can center after your net. You can center yourself, right? You can just center yourself, so you don't have to move as much, right? I think that'll help a lot with your camera control. Is press spacebar, press spacebar like often, right?
Yeah.
A
lot of the time I just move my cursor around, and sometimes
right.
I was
Right.
trying to
But
center myself, and I just maybe move a little too far.
Right. So what would have saved you here? Is there a combo that would have saved you here?
E and trap. E and
Yes. EW, right? E him, W between you guys. Boom, good to go. Yeah, there's not really much you can do at this stage, right?
Yeah.
So the idea is that the laning phase stuff, right, is what you want to work on. And for you, the priority should be first get your CS, okay? And then the second, like that's your first priority, is no matter what happens, I want you to focus on your CS, right? So write that down, right? And then the second priority is do what your champion's supposed to do, right? Oh, do you want to trade? Take those trades after you make sure you can get all your CS, right? Or do you want to push? Make sure you push, right? Do you not want to push? Don't push, whatever. But make sure you get the CS first, right? And then I think, once you can get like that phase going, right? The laning phase, then I think it'll be a better transition into like the mid game. I don't know. I kind of forgot what happened here, but like, things it kind of spiraled out of control, right? But that's kind of how you make yourself so strong that you can just win games by yourself, right? Make sure you get the money, right? And after these towers are gone, your mindset should be, where can I make the most money, right? So you push out those lanes and then do something afterwards, right? It's kind of the idea. Let's go to the second game.
Yeah. Sure.
So if you see Varus and Shen versus Kog'Maw and Zara, what does each lane want to do?
Uh, I mean, Kog'Maw's pretty immobile, but he can have pretty long range, and Zara has his plant and root. I guess we still want to push.
Well, let's do trading first.
Right.
Do you guys want to trade?
Do we want to trade? I'm actually not sure. Maybe not.
Okay, yeah. Let's change the question. Is it obvious that you want to trade?
Not really.
I agree. You have no shield support. You have no sustain, right? So it's not obvious. The second question: do you win all in?
Do I win all in? Probably.
Right. So if Shen lands taunt, you win all in.
Then
Shen
taunt,
is
win
all
all
in
in.
champion, right? And then the last is, do you want to push? Right.
Yeah.
I agree, right? Because how did they kill you if you push?
How did they kill me? I don't think they can really kill me.
It would be Zyra's snare, right? That's about it. Is what I can see,
Yeah.
right? So those three things: trading,
Uh-huh.
the pushing, and actually I guess there's two things, right? Trading and pushing. Oh, all in, yeah. Trading, all in, and then pushing. Okay, how about switch to their side, Kog'Maw, Zyra. So what can Kog'Maw do? What does he want to do? Does he want to all in, or does he want to trade? Does he want to poke?
Kog'Maw, he might want to poke when he has his ability up.
Well, that's like a 17-second cooldown, right? So using it to
Right.
poke is not the best idea, right?
Okay.
So it's kind of hard for him to poke, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would say it's less about him poking rather than. So does he?
I guess he just want to farm. In early game, he just want to farm safely.
But most importantly, he does want to all in, right? Because
Oh.
if he gets a bunch of auto attacks off with his W on, that's a lot of damage, right?
Right.
Basically, Kog'Maw's invincible with his W up is kind of the idea. And then Zyra wants to do what?
He wanted to trap us. And
Right,
then
so-
go in.
Okay, so that's actually like a subsection of all in, right? They want to catch because they have a skill shot. But
Right.
more importantly, Zyra wants to poke, right? When it comes to trade, poke all in, she wants to poke, and then she can also catch someone, right? So that's kind of the idea. Is that you have a half their lane is half poke, half all in. It's not very good, right? It's like maybe it can be good, but doesn't really synergize that well. And then you guys want to all in, right?
Yeah.
So you know that since we are two all in versus half, half all in, you're gonna win the all in, right? If you can hit someone, it's kind of how you figure out if you can
Right. Right.
win fights or not, right?
But should we still push?
Yeah, you should push, right? Because if you look at it, how do you die to a push? That's the question. If you push, how do you die? And you answered,
If
there's
I
like
get
not much.
Trapped.
Right, the
and
only
the
snare.
Jungler just shows.
Exactly, only the
Yeah.
snare. That's it. So that you're good to go. So you can just push and then dodge the snare, right? You can flash it, you can heal it, whatever. Doesn't matter. But that's how you know. If say you account for her snare and you still die, in what cases would that happen?
If I dodge her snare and still died.
Yeah. What would have to happen for that to happen?
I mean, firstly the jungler definitely has to show up.
Yeah. Sure. Jungler has to be there.
And I just eat too many pokes, maybe.
Yes. If you have no HP and you push, that's an indicator that you can die to a gank, right? If you push and you have no flash, that's an indicator that you can die to a gank, right? So if you have full HP and flash, you can push, right? That's kind of how you figure it out. And then as Varus, do you want to what do you want to do? Do you want to poke, trade, all in, catch?
I guess I want to poke.
How do you poke?
I mean, my Q is a pretty good poke.
I would say Varus Q is not very good poke, right? Because we're not max. Are you maxing Q first?
Yes.
Oh, that's kind of awkward. But
Is it
look,
not? It's
look
not
how much.
supposed-
Yeah. Look how much damage you do with Q, right? 63 damage. Is that worth a 20-second cooldown ability?
Oh, maybe not.
Right. So that's
Yeah.
kind of how you can figure out if this champion is worth poking. What did you build on Varus? Oh yeah, you built Rageblade, right?
Yeah.
So when you build Rageblade, you wanna all in, you wanna trade, right? But there's no poke available because if you use Q to hit them, it does like 50 damage, right? But your Q can proc your W stacks, so you need to like never use your Q unless you can proc W stacks, right? So you want to poke, right? I mean you want not poke, sorry. You want to trade and you want to all in, right? How do you trade? Is the next question, I guess.
And I'm not trade. I feel like I'm actually not too sure.
Okay,
Just
let me show you an example.
Get in a good position.
So when I say trade, I mean like what specific ability do you use? So for Twitch, it'd be he's gonna auto attack and E, right? So for Varus, it would be what?
I guess auto attack and E.
Right, it would be auto attack E. So I think there's an example coming up soon.
Okay. I use the Q a lot to trade.
Right, you don't want to use Q, right?
Okay.
So right here, this would be considered a good trade. I got 2 hits for his 1 hit, right? So notice the HP difference.
Right.
So okay, he dodged brand Q, whatever, and then that would be a good trade, right? That's exactly what you want. So in this case, it would be Kog'Maw hits you once, you hit him with an auto attack and an E, and you run away, right? So notice how I'm doing what I showed you earlier with the Caitlyn, where you auto attack and you leave, auto attack E and leave, right? That's what you want to do. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Auto attack and E. So that's why you want to get E and then W for Varus level 2, right? So if you go into like pro builds, do you know about this website?
Yeah, I use pro builds.
Right. So if you can click on any of these guys, it's gonna be E and W, right? E, W, Q, and then max E. So you want to copy these guys, right? So this is the reason why they get E and W, right? So they can start utilizing their trading potential, right? You auto attack and then you E. Boom, that's a win, right? You're slowly winning. That's kind of how you generate an HP advantage, right? So let's say you guys want to all in and Shen misses taunt. Do you guys want to all in still?
I guess not.
Right, you can't. Right, it's actually impossible because the reason why your guys are strong at all in is because he can taunt someone. Right, he's gonna taunt and then beat him up. But if you guys can't do that, then that's a rip. Here we go. This would be an example of if you wanted to freeze. So you're an all-in team. You somehow beat them when they're not all in, right? And you generate an HP advantage, and now they can't walk up without dying. So say if they were like half HP, they probably have a little bit too much, but if they were a lot less HP, this is gonna push into you. That's when you say, oh, we can freeze, and then if they walk up, we're gonna all in them, right? So that would be an example of maybe you want to freeze.
I see. Yeah, I should definitely not have done that.
No, yeah. Is there another reason why you don't want to eat the minions?
Cause then you're not freezing.
Well, besides the freezing part, say you still wanted to push. Why is this not correct?
Oh, and then because then I used my ability.
Yes. Now you can't trade. So they're just gonna hit you, right? And you can't do anything. That's why you don't want to use your abilities to push unless you're not planning on fighting, right? So you trying to hit him here is a mistake, right? Because you don't have your E. That's where you consider a mistake because he hits you and Zyra hits you and you can't do anything, right?
Oh, I see.
That's kind of the idea. Oh, he's gonna go in and you can't help, right? You can only Q. So it's really awkward. Oh, that's awkward. Okay, you guys die to a gank because why?
Oh, because pretty bad map awareness.
No. Why? What condition made you die to a gank?
Oh, we got rooted.
Yes, right. So we can clearly see that you can turn this into kind of tic-tac-toe, right? You get hit by this, you die to a gank, and if you dodge it, you don't die to a gank, right? Etc. Etc. So if you were able to flash his snare and then press E on yourself, he can't chase you, right? You win because you baited out his gank. But since we got rooted, you're gonna die, right? So that means that when you're laning like this and you push up, you always think that she's gonna root you. You always pretend like she's gonna root you, right? That's kind of how you dodge it. So yeah, you can already see, you know, the reasons why this gank works or it doesn't work, right? We explained it before we watched the video, and then it happens. We already know, right? You already know the reason. So
All right.
that's kind of how you figure out your lanes, right? Okay, so now do you want to push?
Now, I mean, they're both a level above us.
Well, that's ignore that part, right? Say you just come back to lane. They're not gonna be a level above you because you're gonna kill all these minions. You're gonna be level 4. So let's fast forward. Okay, you're both level.
Okay.
You're all level 4.
Yeah.
Do you want to push?
I guess we still do.
And why? How do you die to gank? Can you die to gank? Right.
Oh yeah, maybe now because I have my flash down.
Right. So, how does Zyra guarantee a root?
How does she guarantee a root?
Or how does she make sure her chances are very high? If you're playing Zyra and your life depends on rooting that enemy Varus, how do you do it?
Right. You walk up to him.
You're gonna use flash, right?
Oh, okay, yeah.
You're gonna flash and you're gonna E when he goes for a minion, right?
Right.
So if you know the enemy jungler's down here and you say if I get rooted I die, she's going to stand in between the minions and you can't last hit, right? Because the instant you try, she flash roots and then out comes the jungler, right? So that's how you know you don't want to push. Is that he's gonna flash on you if you do. That's kind of the idea, right? And then is there any counterplay to the jungler coming out? Maybe if Shen taunts Kog'Maw or something, I don't know. Very hard to say, right? Very hard to say. Basically, I would not push. But this is awkward, right? Getting hit by plants. Okay, sure, not much we can do. But the idea is that you should always assume, just like how you should always assume they're going to gank you, you should always assume they're aiming you with their skill shots, right? Even if they're looking in another direction, he's aiming you with his skill shot, right? You gotta pretend that you're this guy, right? So if you're this Kog'Maw, you know how obvious is this Shen taunt, right?
Very obvious.
Same thing. You're walking up into Zyra. How obvious is this skill shot? It's just you always have to be actively aware of what they're gonna use, right? So the only thing they can use is the snare. The only thing you guys can use is Shen taunt, right? So those are the things you have to dodge. Yeah, you have a jungler now. Remember how we said one example of how someone might die even if they have flash is if they have no HP.
Oh yeah.
If your work has flash, they're dead, right? So if we fast forward, these guys are gonna die, right? As long as he doesn't mess this up, right? Okay, nice. Okay, it was kind of close. He actually is gonna die, but he's gonna die because he came with no HP. That's really awkward.
Yeah, I think I drew too many minion aggros.
Yeah, too many minions.
I got
right?
minion blocked.
Remember you have a stopwatch. I would say don't worry about that right now yet, though. And you got like Kog'Maw passive, right? So this is the kind of the idea of if you can't help, don't help, right? Once he misses taunt, you guys can't get her, right? So
yeah.
Just remember that the easiest way to learn this game, I would say, is figure out how do you win, and then only do that for the longest. Only do that until you can get it down. Right? Don't do anything fancy or anything extra. So remember how we're like, oh, you win all in if Shen lands taunt. So you don't go in unless Shen lands taunt, and then you say, oh, we win trades if I auto attack E. So these are the only moves you make. Those are the only good moves you make. Is that you auto attack E, you wait for Shen taunt, right? And then you watch out for Zyra E, and that would be like, if you can do that, that would be really good fundamentals, right? That's what I want you to focus on. Is
Also, I don't know the cooldown time for their abilities. So it's kind of. I'm not exactly sure when it was safe for me to walk up.
So the idea is, Kog'Maw W is very long, right? Anything with CC is very long. Anything with damage is medium cooldown. You think about it that way, right?
Okay.
But the idea is that if you don't know, you assume it's up, right?
Okay.
If you don't know, you assume it's up.
Okay, I see. Yeah, this game was very similar to last game.
Right. As we can see, right?
Kind of got stumped.
Oh no. Yeah, that's the idea, right? He's gonna root you, and then you guys are gonna die because you can't get away, right? This jungler is not coming out actually, which is surprising, right? And I would say the thing you should work on is making sure, one of the big things you should work on, I think, is making sure that you only use your abilities only in certain cases. Okay, we're just gonna set this iron rule, is that you only use your E after you auto attack. Okay, we're just gonna do that, right? You only use your E after you auto attack, or if you're trying to run away and you're not trying to fight. But you only use your E if you're after an auto attack. You only use your Q if they have a bunch of stacks. Right? That's kind of the mindset you should have. Is that you don't use it for other purposes. Don't use it. You want good value out of your abilities.
Does that also apply to Caitlyn?
Applies to every champion, right? So if Zyra roots and misses, what's the value of her root?
Like 0.
It's actually worse than 0, right? Yeah, it's negative, right?
Yeah.
A miss is negative because it's it's on cooldown and you lose mana, right? So Shen misses taunt, that's negative, right? If Shen lands it on a tank, how good is that, theoretically speaking?
Not as good.
I would say
a
little bit below 0, right? And then what if he lands it on a carry?
Then that's really good.
Very good value, right? Because that's gonna be that's like you gotta get a free kill. You're gonna kill someone, right? So if you think about it in those terms, every time you use it on minion wave, what was the value?
Below 0.
I would say below 0. Agreed. It's not negative because you did damage to minions and you got to push, but it's definitely not average, right? Definitely not good.
Right.
You only want good. That's what I want you to think. So don't use these abilities unless you have 100% sure. Okay, so how about for Caitlyn? Is using Caitlyn Q on the wave positive, 0, or negative value?
Unless you're trying to wave clear, then maybe unless you wanna.
If you're trying to push, let's say.
Yeah, if you're trying to push, or if you're trying to maintain their freeze.
It's good value, right?
Yeah.
I would say it's good value as well, right? But the reason why Varus E is different is because it's very hard to land Caitlyn Q on champions, right? But it's very easy to land Varus E on champions, right? So unless you're about to all in, you want to use Caitlyn Q on the wave, or you want to use it to poke them. But if you miss, 0 is negative value, right? For Varus, you almost never use it on the wave. You just want to use your auto attacks, right? Auto attacks and unless you're like for some reason super desperate.
So for Varus, you never use the ability to clear the waves.
It's not never, but for you, for now, it's never for you, right? It's hard. It's harder to piece together a bunch of things to figure out when it's good or not to use it on the wave, right? Let's say, for example, the enemy fight breaks out top, and you need to push bot as fast as possible, and there are 0 champions near you. Use E on the wave. That's good value because you're never going to use it otherwise, right? That would be good value. But for now, we'll just say don't use it on the wave, right? Just save it for at this rank. You do not need to use it to push the wave. Let me say that.
Okay.
At this rank, you just need to make sure that you don't lose fights you shouldn't lose. That's what we worry about right now, is that we use our abilities for good value. That's what I want you to focus on, is that you don't use abilities unless you know it's going to get good value, right? Or you think you know it's going to get value. Okay, yeah, here we go. What's the value of this time?
Negative.
Yeah, negative, dude. Yeah. That would tilt me, dude. I would be like, get me out of here. I'd be like, what's going on? It just does nothing, right? It can't do anything. Okay, how about this? Taunt to get out of the knockout.
That was pretty suboptimal use of taunt.
I'll say it's good, right? Because he prevented a lot of damage, right? Uses to escape.
Yeah.
Right? I'll say it's not bad, right? Obviously not as good as catching someone, but in the case, since he got snared, he doesn't have a choice, right? He needs to get out. So, let's fast forward. What's going on here? So when I said, remember how we were like, does the lane change at level 6, right? And we say, you still want to all in, they still want to trade. So does this lane change at level 6?
I don't think it changes.
Right. You guys still want to all in, and they still want to poke.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel
So
like my all in is stronger because of my ult.
agreed. So if you just ulti someone here, you win. Right?
Like right now, right here.
Yeah. Right here. You just ulti. Yeah, if you didn't use E on the wave, right, and you ulti someone, you win, right? Because Shen can't miss his taunt. Right, so that's this is the catch. This is like kind of a subsection of all in, where a skill shot CC is what I consider catch, right? So you can catch them and force an all in, right? So here, if you didn't use your E, you just walk up and you press R, and then Shen taunts. So what is Zyra gonna do when you ulti Kog'Maw?
She might just ult back.
Well, she has no ulti, right? We just saw it. We just saw it used. So what is she gonna do when she sees Kog'Maw get taunted?
I don't think she can do much, except just applying the damage.
What if it was Alistar? We'll make an easier example.
Oh, then he will try to knock us back.
Is it knock who back? Is the big question.
Knock the. I think he would try to knock the ADC.
Right. So here's
ADC
the
does more damage.
Exactly. So here's the idea of engage and follow up. Right. So if Shen engages 1v2, he loses. Right. Because there's no one to follow up. He taunts Cog, but it's 1v2. He loses. Right. So there's engage, but there's no follow up. Right. So if you try and hit someone, but they're not taunted, they just walk away. Right. So there's follow up, but there's no engage. Right. So if the engage goes through, you want to target the follow up. Right. If you get engaged on, you want to stop the follow up. Right?
In this case, am I the person who's supposed to engage, or is Shen the person who's supposed to engage?
Well, you want to catch them, and then Shen's gonna all in, right? So we can throw around different terms, but the idea is one dude usually does the CC, and one dude usually does the damage, right? So in this case, you can do CC and damage, which is kind of funny, but and so can Shen. But usually, say it'd be like Varus and Alistar or something. I don't know, something like Varus, Leona, whatever. It'd be like the guy, they're gonna target you with CC, right? Or they're gonna try and hit you back, right?
Right.
So knowing that, when Shen taunts Kog'Maw, what is Zyra gonna do? She wants to stop the follow up, right?
Yeah, she's gonna try to attack me.
So how does she attack you?
She gets a plan to attack me.
What specifically? Like what ability is the best way to attack you?
I'm actually not very sure. I never played against Zyra before. This is like my first time.
So remember in a gank, how do they stop you from running away?
Oh, a root.
How do they stop you from running forward?
Also a root.
Exactly, it's a root. So when Shen taunts Kog'Maw, Zyra's gonna root you immediately, right? So how do you make sure this all-in goes through? How do you not get rooted?
I flash forward.
Yes, exactly. So Shen taunts Kog'Maw. You walk up to hit Kog'Maw. Zyra throws a root at you. You flash it. You automatically win. You just hit Kog'Maw and you win, right? So that's how it's tic-tac-toe, right? So that's how you know that if you're out here, you win. That's how I know is that if this is a 2v2, we see Shyvana top, right? If this is a 2v2, no teleport, you win, 100%. So you just have to hit him with the root, and then you're good to go. So if he misses root, then you know you can save your flash, right? So you know for sure this definitely works, right?
Okay.
That's kind of how you figure it out. Is tic-tac-toe, right? There's literally nothing else they can do. She could maybe try and flash forward to catch you off guard, or something crazy like that. But usually speaking, there's not much they can do. So if we, okay. So the reason why if you ulti here could be bad is because you missed his taunt already, right? You guys are still winning the all-in though, which is kind of funny. But yeah, Shen missed his taunt, so that's why you want to go first, right? That's why you always want to go first, or maybe not always, but you go first so that he can follow up, and then if he misses, you don't go at all, right? So let's see what's going on here. So here, Like for example, is there anywhere better you could be standing?
Close. No, closer to the bush.
So if I said you wanted to trade still, right? Because you still want to trade
Okay.
with your auto attack
I
E.
want to stand closer to Kog'Maw.
Right. You want to stand where he's gonna last hit the minion, right? And then you know that Zyra's gonna try and root you. So your first goal is bait out the root. If she doesn't throw a root, you trade with Kog'Maw, right? So that's what you do. That's what you should be doing.
Okay.
But I would say, you know, it's good to know in theory. But the first step is don't get hit, right? No matter what, don't get hit by root. So
Alright.
that's just, if you can do that step, this is what you do next, is start pressuring Kog'Maw, right? So here, it's the same thing. You don't want to go mid, right? Same thing. Okay, we can talk about this.
Alright.
Where do you want to go?
Bot.
Yes, and why?
Or top. The bot
I would
was being pressure and top was being pressure as well.
I would say not top. Why is that?
Kane was on his way to top.
But more importantly, this is something you might not know, but you want to be near the objective. You want to be 1 lane's distance from the objective. So what's the objective that's up on this case?
The dragon.
Yes, the neutral objective that's up is the dragon. So you want to be 1 lane's distance of the dragon. So you go mid or bot. And then Azir wants to be mid, right? So you go bot. Not many options, right? So you have to go bot here, right? The reason why, maybe you can go top sometimes is because what other objective spawns topside?
The Rift Herald or Baron.
Right. So if they start dragon, you guys start Rift Herald, right? So that's kind of the idea.
Oh, okay.
But you can't go top because
what if both the objectives are down?
Then you can go wherever you want. But then you decide based on, are we attacking? You should attack towers, right? If you're super far ahead, you want to go to a lane with auto towers up. So you want to attack towers, right? Towers are other objectives as well. And then another one could be, do we want to go mid, right? If you have an assassin mid, they want to be in a side lane, right? Why is that?
If they have assassin mid, they want to be a side lane?
Like Zed right here. He wants to be in this lane. Why?
Because then he can. Because then he's considered split pushing. And then.
But why does he want to split push, so to speak?
Not too sure actually.
Because he can run you down.
Oh, okay.
Right. He can run you down. So say Fizz, he can run you down, or Katarina or LeBlanc. All these people can run you down the lane, right? And then you just die. If it was, let's say a Victor, can he chase you?
No, really.
Yeah. What about Ziggs? Can he chase you? These guys can't chase you, right?
Yeah.
So that's why they want to be mid. They want to wave clear. They want to push. They want to poke. These kind of assassins, they want to go in a side lane, right? So if you have an assassin on your team, you want them to be in a side lane, so they have pressure, right? You can't go out and farm because they have an assassin, for example, right? If he was hiding in a bush, you can't do anything.
Right.
So this would be an example of like, if you didn't have a Shen, you auto die, right?
Right.
So in this case, what happened is he got taunted, and then like, what's going on? Okay, so if he goes for you, what's your response?
My response, it goes to me. I root him.
Okay, but he can ulti your root, right?
Oh yeah.
So then, what's the response? This is a tic-tac-toe. There's a guaranteed way for you to win, right? So let's do the damage.
I could park my stopwatch.
Yeah. Okay, let's do. So for team fights, this is what you do. You do the defensive portion first, and then you do the offensive portion next. Okay, so the defensive part is, say Fizz ultis you, you're gonna stopwatch. Yeah. That would be like, we have solved everything that can kill us, so we can fight, right? So once you solve everything that can kill you, you fight, right? So remember how we're like, how do we solve Zyra E? We use Flash, so we can fight, right? That's kind of the idea. In this case, what's gonna kill you in this case?
The Z ult.
I agree. So what do you use to counter Z ult?
I guess the stopwatch.
Right. So right before it goes off, you stopwatch.
Yeah.
So now you solve that part. What about the offensive part? How do you do the maximum amount of damage possible?
I mean, auto attack and E and then root.
Right. Auto attack. You spread your abilities between auto attacks. Right. Is what you want to do.
Okay.
And then once Zed realizes he fails, what is he gonna do?
He's just gonna try to run away.
How is he gonna run away though?
Does he have the shadow thing?
Yes. So if he has no flash, you know that you hit him, and then he tries to run away. You ult his shadow. That's how you know you win, right?
Okay.
Is that he has no way to get away. He started a fight. He can't win basically. But yeah. And then we're like, oh, the reason why this doesn't work is because we didn't hit him, right? And then we try to chase him even though we can't catch up, right?
Okay, so always weave your auto attack between your abilities.
Yeah, this is Varus, right? This is for Varus because his abilities only do damage. Well, only do good value damage when he procs his W stacks, right? So on Varus, this is what you do, right? For Caitlyn, it'd be different, right? Caitlyn is just, oh, you trap his shadow, auto attack EQ, right? That would be different. You don't need to weave in your auto attacks, but yeah, for Varus, you only use your abilities between auto attacks. So this is good damage, but we're just missing like 3 auto attacks or 4 auto attacks here. So and then it's like, oh, if you can't kill someone, if you can't figure a way how to kill someone, you should just hit the closest guy, right? So this guy just kills you. This guy just ults you, and then it's like, oh, this is really awkward, right? So yeah, you're gonna die no matter what you do. So yeah, defense first. This is why defense first is because stuff like this will happen. Figure out the defensive portion first. You know what kills you, and then figure out the how do I kill this guy part, right?
Okay.
Let's see what else is going on here. You still want to go by here, right? It's same thing. Still, when you see a wave up, you need to go clear that shit. You want to push it out past the river. So why do I say push it out? I don't know if you know this, but if you push it past the river, it will come back to you.
Oh yeah.
Right. So that's why you want to push it past the river, and then you can do whatever you want after. But this is the first step. This is how you get your money, right? You know, push past the river, and then okay, this is awkward. They're coming. What's going on? You can just kill the Zyra because she has no team, right? Should we go on the wall? That's kind of awkward. You could have killed her, right?
Yeah.
So,
I kind of took the long way.
Now it's like, oh, we don't want this anymore because they have more people, right? Awkward. But yeah. Now the idea is, all right, more info dump. I think there's a lot of things you can focus on, but we'll throw this in as well. For fighting, for team fighting, the first priority is don't get hit by that which kills you, right? So remember how we solved for the gank? How we're like, oh, if we have flash and we have full HP, we can push because as long as we don't get hit by this ability, we won't die, right? It's the same thing in team fights. Ask yourself, what abilities do you die to? So, yeah.
A Shyvana ult will probably kill me.
Okay, and then how do you solve that? How do you stop her from killing you after she ults?
At this time?
No, like in general in a team fight. Like imagine if you had your ulti up, right?
Oh, then I'll try to ult her.
Right, you just ult her and then she can't kill you, right? So this enemy team only really has one way to kill you, right? 2 ways, I would say. What are the 2 ways? 2 specific abilities.
Oh. This one and the Urgot's ult.
Well, ignore Urgot because he's doing some weird damage shit, right?
Yeah,
And the reason why you lose is because you're chasing. So
Yeah.
he can land everything for free.
Mm-hmm.
What are the two big abilities the enemy team has?
So
We can pause here. Yeah. What two champions? Let's do that
what two
first.
champions right now?
What are the things you will die to most in these team fights?
Zed.
Yes, right?
Zed's
Zed.
ult will
I
be
agree.
like an instant kill.
Right. So you have to stay away from Zed ult.
And the Shyvana's ult is
We already solved Shyvana ult without ult,
yeah.
right?
Okay.
So
And then Zyra's root.
yes, those two things. If you get hit by it, you think you're guaranteed to die, right? That's what I
Yeah.
want you to think, is that you're guaranteed to die. So unless you can solve for Zed's ult with your hourglass or heal or something, then you have to say, if he can shadow towards me and ulti, I'm gonna die. Or you say you Shen ulti to solve for it or whatever. And then same thing with Zyra root, right? If you get hit by that, you're gonna die. So if you watch those two things, then the next step is hit the closest target. That's what you want to do.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So this is the first step: is do not get hit, no matter what. No matter what, do not get hit by the things that will kill you immediately. Because if you get hit by that, it's game over. Right. What was the value of the AD carry if you get hit by that?
0.
It's like negative, right? Yeah, negative. 0 would be like you trade the other AD carry, right?
Yeah.
If your guys are even, you trade the other AD carry. That would be like maybe 0. So you're negative. That's really bad. That's how you lose games, right? Is you give your teams a bunch of negatives and it's over, right? And then if they what's it called? If you hit someone, if you hit the closest target, that would be good value, right?
Right.
I'll say that's good value. And then the third step is if you can do something that's not hit the closest target, like a special, if you can see you can kill someone or you can dive someone and it's a good plan, that's the third step, right? Don't worry about that yet. Just do, don't get hit by these specific abilities and hit the closest target. That's what I want you to focus on. And the way you hit the closest target is, remember what we said, good value on ability, right? So let's take a look at example. I think there are some examples in here that could be good. Let's take a look.
All right.
Let's just take a look at a random one. Okay, we're just sitting in this bush, right? So, idea is, tell me what happens in this fight.
What happens in this fight? And they trap. So the Varus rooted him.
How do you have so much HP and then end up dying?
Oh, cause auto attack empowered E.
Right. He has 3 stacks on him, right?
Huh?
And Brand also got good value. So actually, it's not just good value. Brand got maximum value, right? That's the most damage he can possibly do. And I also did most damage I can possibly do, right? So if you fight like that, it'll good outcome, right? Always. He had nothing, right? So his value was like negative, right? He didn't do anything. Same Jinx had only like average value, so of course they're gonna lose, right? Let's fast forward to a different fight. Okay, this is an example of a team fight, right? You just remember what I said. Do not get hit by the thing that kills you automatically, and then hit the closest target, right? So this is the same thing, right? We're gonna hit the closest target, and then what do we die to? You die to like fear and ulti or whatever, right? There's actually, they don't really have anything that'll insta kill us except for Vlad ulti, so that's the only thing we watch out for. But Vlad already used his ulti, right? So that's how you know you win. Is that we can do whatever we want, right? But the important part is that we're using our abilities with our W, right? We actually missed here. This is negative value, right?
Yeah.
So that was actually really bad. Don't do that. When in doubt, you want to hold on to your abilities. But here, how about this snipe, right? He has 3 stacks on him. That's why he dies.
Oh,
right?
okay.
He has 3 stacks, right? So that's what you use Q for, is to proc stacks. Don't use it to poke, right? This guy, what was that, 3 stacks, right? Look how much HP he lost in conjunction with Galio. We can fast forward to a different fight. Are any of these really good? I don't really think so. I don't think any of these fights are really good. Okay, let's take a look at this, I guess. Is there anything that can kill us?
Here, Warwick's ult. And which one are you? Actually, I can't really see.
Oh, okay, I'm over here now.
Oh, you're here. Oh, you're here. Jace's ult.
Jace's full combo, I guess, right?
Full combo, yeah. His full combo could kill you.
And you said Warwick ult, right?
Warwick, yeah.
So we solve Warwick ult with Galio, right? We say, oh, Galio's gonna taunt him off us. And then how do you solve Jace's combo?
And he's not comboing on you right now.
Right, but if he did, how would we solve it? If he threw the shock blast, yes, you flash it, right? So we know that we can hit him. That's how you know, is that you can do whatever you want as long as you can solve for those two things, right? So it doesn't matter what happens.
So you should think about these things before you go and engage, right?
Right. Otherwise, how can you fight? You don't know if you can hit them, if it's safe or not, right? So that's kind of what you have to think about.
Alright.
But I think for you, the thing I want you to work on is make sure that you're last hitting. You're always getting the last hits, right? So if you want to push, you still want to get the last hit, right? Yeah. Unless you're going to get hit by poke or whatever. Then it's okay to miss the last hit if they use the poke to try and poke you off it, right? But for now, I want you to say, we want to, our goal is make as much money as possible, right? And then make sure you get the last hits. The second step is make sure you do what your lane matchup does. Right. So if you wanna all in, you should recognize that you wanna all in. If you want to poke, you should recognize that you want to poke. If you want to trade, you should recognize that you want to trade. Right. The quick and easy way to think about it is, do you want to trade? Right. Do you have a shield support or whatever? Do you want to all in? And then do you want to what's the last one? I guess sustain. Well, that's still trading, right? Trade all in, and then the last one is do you want to push the wave?
Pushing, yeah.
Right. So trade, all in, push, and then tick that stuff off, and I'll tell you how to play the lane.
Right. All right.
And then for fights, I would say, okay, so for after the laning phase, this is gonna be what you do for like your next 10 games, right? So that's your laning phase in a nutshell, right? Push if you have flash, whatever. Right. If you deem you should flash, you should do it. I mean, deem if you should push, you should do it, right? And that'll teach you whether or not you die to these ganks, right? You look at the ganks and you're like, oh, I got hit by this ability, so I died, right? After the laning phase, right? I want you to think, I need to catch this wave. I need to push out this wave first before I go do something else, right? I want you to do that. Is always push out the wave, and then if a fight happens within one lane's distance, you see if you can help or not, right?
Okay.
When is it worth to help?
When is it worth to help? When you think there's a realistic chance to win,
right?
When you come in.
But the average is when you can get like a kill or 2 assists or something like that, right? Because that's how much money you're giving up to go help.
Okay, yeah.
Right. That's why we're gonna think. Is it worth the help? If it's like a lost cause, don't even bother, right? But if you can help, then yeah, go help. But always push out first. Okay, and then here's another question. What if you can't push out? Because they have Zed hiding in a bush. What do you do?
Then you wait till the wave pushes towards you further.
Yes, you wait, or you can bait him and have Shen hide in a bush or something like that, right? Have your support hiding somewhere, but yeah, you wait. You do something else that isn't gonna get yourself killed, right? Okay. And then after that, once you can push out the waves and go do something, you'll have a lot. You'll have like that's how you get perfect CS, right? That's how you get 300 CS at 30 minutes, right? Then after that is team fighting, right? So what did I say about team fighting?
Team fighting, watch out about the things that can kill me instantly.
Yes. And
then hit the closest target.
Yes, that's all I want you to do for now. Unless you have like a inspirational play, you want to do those two things, because if you make a play that isn't those two things, it's negative value, right? You lose, right? You're losing if it doesn't work, right? So yeah, those are the three things that I want you to work on. There's a lot of things, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
the kind of way you do it is you focus on one thing at a time in game.
Yeah.
You like go into game.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying?
When I push out the wave, I push out the wave on my lane, right?
Yeah. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
what wave.
Yeah.
Every lane is your lane. It's the
Okay.
team's lane, right? So let's say for example we're here. You need to push out bot, right? Because that's the lane you can farm, right? Everyone needs to get their own source of income. That's how kind of how you want to think about it. And then just do that for now. You want to push out and don't hit the tower. Yeah, don't go for the tower damage. I would say at your rank, you don't need to do that. So for now, you just push out and then you look for something easy to do. Okay, that's what I want you to do. Push out and look for something easy to do. Don't try and hit the tower unless it's super obvious, right? People die.
Okay.
And then oh yeah, we're throwing another rule: the map awareness part. If they have more people, never fight. Okay? If they have more people, never fight. If you have more people, always fight. That's what I want you to work on too. So in these 4 areas, I would say do the team fight stuff, right? And the map awareness stuff, right?
Okay.
Well, actually, do the pushing out stuff and the map awareness stuff. The one where you always push out. That's what I want you to do. And then if you have more people, fight. If you have less people, do not fight.
If you have more people, do you always want a group, and then look for objectives?
You always want to. Okay, so say for example, there's gonna be an example here somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Okay, say you guys kill them down here. I think you guys killed them back here. I don't remember. Okay. So say you let's say you guys kill them bot down here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys kill them. What's the best thing you can get?
Either the Inferno or the turret.
Right, I would agree. What if you guys are 1 HP? Everyone's 1 HP. What's the best thing you can get?
Everyone's 1 HP?
Like, you work and Shen are 1 HP, and you kill the enemy bot laners. What's the best thing you can get?
The turret?
But
If
the
you
jungler
have-
comes out
Okay.
and then kills everyone,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah,
then what's
yeah.
the best thing you can get?
The dragon.
Dragon one-shots everyone, right? And then the jungler comes out and kills them too. So what's the best thing you can get? That's okay. We can keep going through these.
And that go just backing.
Yes, that's the best thing you can get is base, right? Is base. So that's what happens is whenever someone dies, ask yourself what's the best thing you can get, right? Because it just depends, right? Game to game. And if your team dies, don't make the situation worse by trying to fight, right? That's what you should do.
That happens a lot. You know,
Exactly.
You see, your other people got caught in like a bad position. You trying to help, and then we all died.
right. That's definitely a common thing, right? So if your team, if you have less people, do not fight. If you have more people, try to fight, right? But
when is a good time to group? So you group after you push out the wave?
yeah, okay. So here's an example. You're in the mid game and you're winning, right? So the enemy is doing their thing. They have the top laner top, they have the mid laner mid, and they have their bot lane bot. And everyone's winning their lanes. What do? Right? You push in, you run through the river, or you run through their jungle, and you mess with their jungler, right? That's something you can do. You can push in, you can siege the tower. That's something you can do. You can push in, rotate mid, and see if mid starts a fight, so you can help, right? That's 1v3. You win 3 people to 1, right? And then if nothing happens, you can come back bot, right? And push again, right? You can always, but the thing is, you always push, right? Push, go do something. There's nothing to do. You go back and push it, right? And then if Dragon and Rift Herald are up, you can just take that for free. Everyone pushes in and goes to the Dragon, right? Stuff like that.
What if you're playing like a losing game?
Okay, so then what they want to push, right? So what do you want to do?
Prevent them from pushing.
But you can't because you're losing, right? So what do? Like if they were playing Twitch.
Trade objectives.
Yes, trading objectives is very good, but that's kind of advanced, right? You want to clear the wave as fast as possible.
Okay.
is if they're pushing into you, and then you go and try and prevent them from getting something, right? So you also try and rotate mid, or you try and ward, right? Or you hide in a bush for when they come back, so then you can get the jump on them, so you win, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
But the idea is that you know what they want, so you try and counter it, right? It should be kind of obvious, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of the idea.
A lot of time we'll try to like catch that one guy who's pushed in very deep. We'll have like 4 guys going top. If they have like one top lane is split pushing, we'll try to kill him and rotate back. But a lot of times that we won't. A lot of times they will get away and we'll lose the mid tower.
Right. So the idea is you guys try and chase top, and then the enemy team pushes mid, right?
Yeah, we're trying to like, cause we kind of like losing, so sometimes we're trying to like get a like a free kill or something by just ambushing the guy on top, but then we like use up too much resources and then we lose the mid. So that's what sometimes happens.
Sometimes that's a desperate play and you have to do it. Sometimes if it's even, that's like something you don't want to do, but I think that's like a game by game basis. But if you guys are like losing so hard you need to do that, go for it, right? Just know that they are gonna push mid, right? Yeah, there's not much to say about that. It's just like if the alternative is they dive you mid and you cannot defend, then why not go for the kill top, right?
Right.
So that maybe you can 5v4 them at your mid tower, something like that. But usually that doesn't happen. That's not a standard case. I want you to worry about good value, right? And the team fighting stuff.
Okay.
How do you make sure you don't die to whatever they have and then hit the closest guy, right? I think there's a lot of things you could work on. But for sure the most important ones are the push, right? And then also the don't take 4v5s. Don't take bad fights and only take good fights, right? Beyond that, you can work on your mechanics. You'll be like, oh, make sure you only use the abilities when it's good value, right? Like we talked about today.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know a lot of the combos. Do you just like get a hang of it, or do you have like?
So this is what you do. You're like, oh, how do other people play Varus, right? So you say, oh, LOL replay challenger or something like that, right? And then you say, oh, hit one. I always watch the Koreans, right? Because they're the best. So I'll click on that, click on these, and then you say, oh, what's here? Oh, does anyone play Varus? And you say, oh, Varus, something like that. Boom, Varus, right? Okay, this is kind of a long time ago, but
yeah.
Let's do Varus replay. 1 month ago. You just pick any of these, right? Any of these are fine, honestly, because Varus has not changed, right? So the Varus combos are still the same, right? So if you're like, okay, check this out. What does Bang do? He's gonna auto attack E, right? Auto attack E, boom, right? Exactly what we discussed, right? So you're like, oh, this is one of the best AD carries in the world. You copy that, right? So that's how you figure it out. Auto attack E, run away, right? So if you don't know how to play these champions, you watch other people play it.
Okay, sounds good.
Anything else? I think otherwise, I think I've left you with enough to think about. Definitely.
That's a lot of materials.
Yeah, I would say do one thing at a time. So this is what I do, right? So I've already done a lot of things for. I've already focused on a lot of different things, right? So this is my priority, right? So this is what I'm doing for myself. I like write this down. I go into game and I keep this in my head the whole time, right? So I'm saying, I'm doing the same thing you are, making sure all my abilities are good value, right? Making sure I don't get caught by those that kill me, and then checking my map, right? These are my 3 main things. But for you, I would say stick to one at a time until you can maybe work on that and get that better, right? But this is essentially what I do, right? And then these bottom 3 are the same thing I talked about, right? Good use of time is, we need to push out and go do something. Are we doing something useful? Team fight awareness is, remember that Zyra E we're talking about? That's gonna insta kill you in a team fight. That's what you need to work. That's what I need to work on as my 5th priority. And then last is prediction, right? When are they gonna throw those skill shots at me, right? So when I try and hit Kag'Maw, Zyra's gonna throw an E at me, right? That's this. But these are my top 3 priorities, right? So I would suggest you do something like that. You can do whatever method you want, but I think that's a good way to improve.
All right, that's a very good advice. All right, thanks a lot.
Yep. No problem. Do you mind if I upload this to YouTube?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Right. I'll send you the
Yeah.
link and all, and feel free to go back and review this because I think there's a lot of things that you can check out. But yeah,
all right, for sure.
definitely.
I've seen a lot of the YouTube videos you posted. They're pretty helpful.
That's good. That's good. Definitely keep using Place TV, right? Just go back and watch your deaths, right? This is exactly what I do, right? I keep a track of what I die to. So that's kind of how I figure it out, right? So I'm like, I died because I had no map awareness 15 times. So map awareness is up here, right?
Okay.
That's kind of how you figure out what you want to work on. So yeah, let me know how things go. Good luck on your games. Welcome to League of Legends. I hope you enjoy your first season.
Yeah. How long have you played?
I've been playing since like a little bit after beta. So long
right
time.
After 2009.
Yeah, what is it, like 8 years, 7 years or something? I was a Dota 1 player. So I actually found out about League from Dota 1. So
that's funny because when League first came out, a lot of friends I knew who played Dota 1 didn't really like it.
Yeah, same. Me too. I was like, oh, you can't deny your own minions and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then I kept playing it. I don't know why. And then it was just fun. So
yeah. Now since I'll make jokes with my friends, be like, oh, Dota 1 is better than League.
Yeah, that's nostalgia factor. Yeah. That was a good game. Dota 1 was a good game.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. Are you what level? What elo are you right now?
We're in our Masters promos right now, I think.
Oh, okay.
I see.
That's very good.
It's okay. I feel like I haven't played enough, but yeah. We're in our Masters promos right now.
Okay. Do you stick with ADC in the beginning, or do you try different roles?
Oh, I played every role until season 4.
Okay.
And then I started maining AD carry. But it's very good to try other roles if you get autofilled, right? Play what's strong, because let's say, for example, you don't know if this jungle gank kills you if you push. How do you know? You play jungle, right? And then you try and gank bot. So hey, there you go. How about if mid roams? How do you how strong is TF in a roam? You play TF, you ult bot, and you're like, oh, this is so easy, right? That's kind of how it'll help broaden your game sense, but I guess it's not necessary in a way, right? But if you get autofilled, don't feel free to experiment if you think that's fun.
All right, great. Thanks a lot.
Yep. No problem. Let me know how things go, and if you have any questions, feel free to message me over here at Discord.
All right, for sure. Thanks. Should I call you Alan?
Yeah, go for it. You can call me. You can call me whatever you want.
All right. Thanks a lot for today, Alan. Thanks for the time.
Have a good night, dude.
Yeah, you too.